Wealth is the slave of a wise man, the master of a fool. In 2014, a man named Ronald Read died in Vermont. He was 92 years old. He had worked as a gas station attendant and then as a janitor for most of his life. He drove an old car. He wore clothes, held together with safety pins. When he died, his estate was worth $8 million. $8 million, built quietly, over 6 decades, without telling a single person. Ronald Read is not the story we are telling today. He is the proof that the strategy works. This is the story of Marcus, 35 years old, living in a 2026 city, working in tech, earning well, but not extraordinarily. From the outside, Marcus looks ordinary. Plain clothing, modest apartment, a car that starts without drama and parks without anxiety. He does not post about his finances. He does not talk about his investments at dinner. He does not need you to know. At 35, Marcus has $2.7 million in assets. Nobody knows. That is not an accident. That is the strategy. The moment you tell people about your money, you start losing it. When people know you have money, everything changes. The colleague who assumes you will pick up the bill, the family member who expects you to cover the vacation, the friend who asks for a loan with no intention of repaying it. None of it is malicious. Most of it is unconscious. But it is constant, and it costs. There is something deeper happening too. When you announce financial success, when you post about it, signal it, perform it, your brain receives a reward before the goal is even reached. The announcement becomes a substitute for the achievement. You told people. It felt like progress. It was not. Marcus never made this mistake. From the day he started building, his financial life existed in one place only: his own mind and the apps on his phone that no one else ever opened. Researchers call it lifestyle inflation, the tendency for spending to rise in proportion to income, so that no matter how much more you earn, the savings rate stays roughly the same. The man who earns $50,000 and saves 10% is in the same structural position as the man who earns $500,000 and saves 10%, except the second man has built a life that costs $500,000 to maintain. Visibly wealthy, structurally trapped. This is the almost rich trap. The man who performs wealth and builds nothing beneath it. Marcus understood this at 26. Every time his income rose, his savings rate rose first. The lifestyle followed, but slower, always slower. The gap between what he earned and what he spent was where the wealth lived, invisible to everyone around him. That was the point. There is a reason Marcus stays quiet. It is not modesty. It is not insecurity. It is strategy. When you signal wealth, you attract people who want something from you, not always consciously, but consistently. Money is a target. The larger and more visible the target, the more energy you spend defending it, explaining it, managing other people's expectations of it, protecting it from the friction of visibility. That energy has a cost. The cost is focus. The cost is compounding. That never happened. Being underestimated is a superpower. The man no one suspects of having money is the man no one tries to take it from. Marcus works out at a gym with floor-to-ceiling windows on a Tuesday morning at 10. Everyone else is at the office. He drives a car that no one looks twice at. In a parking lot, he wears clothing with no visible brand. He eats at the same places he ate before he had money. At home, on a Sunday night, he opens his laptop and looks at a portfolio that most people his age will never build. VTI, VOO, QQQ. Index funds, boring names, boring charts, growing without him having to do anything. He does not post his gains. He does not explain his strategy at dinner parties. He does not need the validation. The show is for people who are not actually building anything. The real work happens off screen, always. Rule 1. Never announce a financial goal. Marcus typed his number into the Notes app on his iPhone, marked it private, told no one. The ambition between himself and the future only. Rule 2. Automate everything. Every month before Marcus touches his salary, automated transfers move money into his Vanguard account. The decision was made once, on a Sunday night, at a kitchen island, in a dark apartment. It has run every month since, without him. Rule 3. Lifestyle must grow slower than income, always. When Marcus got his last raise, the first thing he did was increase his automated investment transfer. The lifestyle followed 3 months later, smaller than the raise, always smaller. Rule 4. Be comfortable being underestimated. At the office, colleagues assume Marcus is doing fine, but not exceptional. They do not know what is on his investment screen at home. He has never corrected them. He never will. Being underestimated is not a loss. It is a competitive advantage. Rule 5. Invest in boring things. Index funds, dividend stocks, rental properties held for 20 years. Marcus does not trade individual stocks. He does not follow crypto trends. He does not have a hot tip from a colleague that he needs to act on today. He has index funds, the same ones Ronald Read built his $8 million with. Boring, reliable, compounding. Rule 6. Protect your financial privacy. Marcus does not discuss his salary. He does not post his net worth milestones. His financial life is not content. Privacy is not secrecy. It is self-protection. Rule 7. Play the long game. When Marcus started investing, at 23, his monthly contribution looked meaningless. The chart barely moved. He kept going. 12 years later, the curve has started to accelerate. That is what compounding looks like. It looks boring until it does not. Rule 8. Your environment matters more than willpower. Marcus does not spend time with people who celebrate lifestyle inflation. He spends time with people who build quietly. The environment shapes the behavior, every time. Financial freedom did not arrive for Marcus as a moment. No notification, no dramatic realization. It arrived as a Tuesday morning. The morning he realized he was at the gym at 10, while everyone else was at the office, and that this was not a coincidence. That the job he went to was a choice, not a sentence. That morning had been building for 12 years. In automated transfers no one saw. In index funds no one asked about. In a Notes app entry no one ever read. In silence that everyone around him misread as ordinariness. The world rewards the performance of wealth. The compound interest goes to the man who hides it. These are not the same man. Most men perform wealth for people who do not care about them, using money they do not have, to impress people they do not respect. Marcus does none of this. He drives the plain car. He wears the plain clothes. He says nothing about his money. And 20 years from now, when the men who performed are still performing, he will be free, completely, quietly. Tell no one. Build everything. Stay cold. Keep building.